Really quick, everybody, this entire video will be timestamped, so if you don't want to watch whole video and just get straight into a different fight, please check the pinned comment or the little red bar right down below you. Again, this entire video will be timestamped, and I'd appreciate you guys watching whatever part that you'd like to. If you're sticking around, guys, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about all of these fights. This is going to be my reaction. We're going to get into it. Like I said, timestamps are there if you would like to use them. Starting off with the first fight, Diana Belbita versus Maria Oliveira. This fight kind of went as expected. There was a little bit back and forth, and honestly, I don't have too much to say about it. Belbita ended up getting the win. She actually looked okay. Maria Oliveira looked like she was gassing, which was a little bit surprising because we've seen a lot of output from her before, but you know what? I don't have too much to say about this. Belbita looked good, and yeah, let's can't wait to see her fight next. Then we have David Dvorak versus Steve Erceg. Now, Steve Erceg, I did not expect him to look nearly as good as he did. I'm not like too high on David Dvorak, but I expected him to win this fight. And Steve Erceg, he came in short notice and looked like he was training for this fight for a long time. His striking was on point. His grappling was sick. I cannot wait to see this dude because he's going to break into the top 10, right? I'm very interested to see if it was just maybe Dvorak was preparing for something else. I don't know, but I like Steve Erceg. He was patient in there. He looked like he belonged in the UFC. I'm excited to see how he does against another contender. Then we have Kyle Nelson versus Blake Bilder. Unfortunately, I was very confident in Blake Bilder to win this fight, and I made a few bets with him as a parlay piece, and I'm like, oh no. Blake Bilder did not look good. He looked a little bit strong and confident at the very beginning, but then Kyle Nelson just found his shots, and it was very, very patient. Blake Bilder ended up getting frustrated, and then ended up losing the fight more and more as the fight went on. I was very high on Blake Bilder coming in. I liked him a lot, but I was of the opinion of Blake Bilder was going to steamroll the competition until he gets to around the top 15. And it looks like we already saw him lose. Well, not even looks like. We did see him lose. So I don't know what to think of Blake Bilder now because we've seen him get frustrated in the octagon, and now maybe patience is the blueprint to beat him. I'm excited to see how he comes back from this because Blake Bilder has some serious potential, but that was a great performance by Kyle Nelson. At the beginning, I was like, oh yeah, Blake Bilder might be able to take this because he was picking him apart for the first couple minutes, but then I was like, Kyle Nelson's hurting him. He's hurting him a little bit more, and he just looked good in the fight. I can't wait to see what's next for both of them. Then we have Aiemann Zahabi versus Qilend Aori reaction. Oh my god, okay. Zahabi. Oh, a guy who's so patient and technical. Well, it's not like he wasn't technical, but man, how often do you see that? He looked great. There's nothing to talk about in this fight. He got a quick knockout. Insane performance. Then we have Miranda Maverick versus Jasmine Jasudavicius, and I always pronounce her last name wrong, but man, Miranda Maverick, way overhyped as I was thinking. I was like, stay away from this fight because Jasmine does have a nice wrestling background, and man, did she show it. I was legitimately impressed with her skill set. Every single time Miranda shot for a takedown, it was reversed. And while Jasmine put a lot of pressure on the feet, I'm not so impressed with the striking. Anybody with accuracy is going to probably defeat her. But man, she proved that she belongs in the top 15. I'm actually impressed by her performance there. Moving on to Nassourdine Imavov versus Chris Curtis. Now, Chris Curtis got lucky with this no contest. He was getting pieced up. And I actually thought Chris Curtis was going to win this fight. This wasn't a very good week of picks for me. And I was like, oh my god, watching this fight. A fun fact, almost every single underdog on the card won. Craziness to me. So Chris Curtis, he wasn't doing anything. He was pressuring and getting pieced up. Thank God for him for that headbutt because now the fight's a no contest. And if he would have kept fighting and he wanted to keep fighting, he would have lost that fight 100%. Nassourdine Imavov looked great, especially from his last performance because it left a little bit of sour taste in my mouth with him against Strickland. So I was like, hey, maybe you know what? Chris Curtis will be able to overtake him. But man, he looked really good in this fight. Striking was crisp, and he was the first guy to ever take Chris Curtis down, so good on him. Moving on to maybe fight of the night, Marc-Andre Barriault versus Eryk Anders. Man, did these two go at it. Holy. Marc-Andre, powerbar is so much fun to fight. And Eryk Anders, in my opinion, looked better than usual. I wasn't so high on Eryk Anders coming into this because he was kind of like a hit or miss fighter, you know what I mean? But Marc-Andre came in slugging, and Eryk Anders gave it right back. This fight was close each round, but I did end up giving Marc-Andre rounds 1 and 3. It's sad when you see two fighters put it all in there and one of them has to lose, but Marc-Andre, can't wait to see what's next for that guy. That dude is on a nice little streak right now. Moving on to the next fight, Dan Ige versus Nate Landwehr. To be honest with you, this fight went kind of as expected. I expected Dan Ige to end up finishing Nate Landwehr, and man, he got close a lot of times. He kept getting close. Surprisingly, Nate Landwehr did very well, and I guess not really surprisingly because that's how Nate the Train fights. He puts amazing pressure. If that fight was 5 rounds, If this was a Fight Night main event, man, Dan Ige was fading hard in the third round. But I am very happy for Dan Ige. I was very happy to see him win this fight. Well-deserved, looked crisp, looked good, handled the pressure well for the most part. But, man, Nate the Train, I would say he belongs. He belongs in the top 15. So maybe he can bounce back, get a few more wins. And I'm a big Nate the Train fan too. I'm a bigger Dan Ige fan, I'd say. I like them both. It sucks to watch one of them lose, especially in a dogfight like that. Man, Nate Landwehr has some amazing heart, but can't wait to see what's next for both of them, honestly. Next up, Mike Malott versus Adam Fugitt. Oh, man, did Mike Malott look good. Oh, my God. He looked good at the beginning, landed some nice shots, and then the 1-2 combination snatched up such a quick guillotine. This dude has serious potential. I am now on the Mike Malott train. I wasn't so much before, and I thought he was going to win this fight. He convinced me. I understand that Adam Fugitt isn't like the best opponent ever, but man, he showed his skills in that fight, and man, he is taking advantage of his opportunity. We potentially have a star over here in Canada on Mike Malott. Happy for the guy. Looks like an awesome dude. I'm very happy that he won that fight, so I cannot wait to see what's next for this guy. Honestly, would you push him in the top 15? Let me know what you think down below about that. Now we have the fight that broke my heart. Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush. Beneil Dariush is one of my favorite fighters of all time, and I was so excited to finally see him get recognition that he deserves. Getting in here, I thought he was going to beat Charles Oliveira, but I wasn't so sure because, of course, Charles is Charles. He is so good. I thought he was going to edge him out, and my heart was in it. And that's not to say, like, I'm a Charles fan too, man. This fight I did not like to watch because one of these guys had to lose. But Beneil never got that title shot, and he went on an insane streak taking on such tough fighters. So I was hoping he'd win here. And it was really nice seeing these two go at it on the ground, where Beneil could, like, looked like he was almost passing the guard, then he wasn't, then Charles was defending, and they were both slamming each other on the ground. But man, Charles's power went through. Beneil blocked a head kick, still hurt him, and then Charles Oliveira ended up getting the finish and had his big moment. I'm happy for Charles Oliveira, don't get me wrong, but man, Beneil's one of my favorite fighters ever, and I wanted to see him get that title. I wanted to see the matchup with Makhachev. That would have been awesome, but man, good for Charles Oliveira. I still believe that Makhachev beats Oliveira in the rematch, especially from what we've seen on the ground with Charles. But anything can happen, man. Charles Oliveira, his whole career is falling down and then coming back even better. So maybe he'll be better in the rematch. I'm very excited to see what's next. I don't know what's next for Beneil, though. My heart's broken after that, man. And finally, we have Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Now, this fight sucked. Irene Aldana. What was that? She came in and didn't do anything. And Amanda Nunes, I'm convinced, like that one time a long time ago, I don't remember what fight it was, but she said she just wanted to test her cardio, see if she could do 5 rounds. It was like that again. Amanda could have finished her at any point. She was toying with her. I'm 100% convinced that she was doing. I don't know what Irene Aldana's game plan was coming in. It's crazy. She didn't do anything. Very pitiful performance by her. But Amanda Nunes, very smart on her to retire as a 2-division champion. Now she can go down as one of the greatest of all time in the female divisions. Smart. Hopefully she doesn't come back when she's old, lose, and tarnish that legacy like somebody we know in the 135-pound division. Very smart for Amanda Nunes, calling it a career. What are they going to do with the title now? Man, that division is a mess. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. What did you think about the card? What did you think about the matchups? Let me know what you think down below, and thank you so much for watching. If you are new here and you enjoy the content, please consider hitting the like button. It will help out the channel a ton, and subscribe if you are brand new. If you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be videos on screen for you right now, or check out the channel. Watch any of them, guys. I will see you there or in the next video. Take care.